Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Parker here, and today I'm going to be talking more about my experiences going to Catholic school. Now, last week I talked about my first experience, my first Catholic school. Now I'm going to be kind of talking about my experience at my second year at my second Catholic school. Well, not my second year at my second Catholic. I mean, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I went there in second grade, so um, yeah, so literally this school was right across the street from the other school. And I could literally just see all my old friends on the playground from across the street at my playground. And I don't know. I was in second grade and I'm just like, I missed my friends, but I was also excited to be out of there. So I had mixed feelings. And this school was different. It was nicer because it wasn't extremely old like the other school, but it was also, I don't know, the class sizes were smaller. There were only two teachers per grade, so you had more like more of a better chance of being in a class with your friend that you liked. But it was also really weird at the same time because let me see, second grade was cool. Let me see, and all the way up, probably, I'd say about like fourth grade was all right too. I don't know. Fifth grade was probably where it started getting really kind of weird. Um, we had before we had this really good principal. She was really nice and she was she was just really good. I really liked her. Then we got this one principal and she was nice too, but she was just really really odd. Like we had church twice a week. We had to go to them, and she usually showed up to both of them for I don't know whatever reason because I don't know. But she's always like, "All right, everybody, before we begin, let's do some stretches to warm up. Reach way down and touch your toes. Bend over a little bit. Give yourself a pat on the back. Wave at the cross and say, 'Good morning, Jesus.'" And just things like that. And this went all the way through. Like, it didn't matter how old you were. I was in eighth grade, and this was still going on. She had all of us still do it. And it was the weirdest shit ever. I had an art teacher in fourth grade that got arrested at that school. Well, he didn't get arrested at school. He just got arrested for doing some really, really shady, illegal stuff. And by really shady, illegal stuff, I mean, he was, he liked kids. Let's just put it that way. He really liked kids. So he got arrested. And every year we got a new art teacher, and it was sort of like Harry Potter Defense Against the Dark Arts. Like every year they got a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and we got a new art teacher every year. And then we got this one that stayed with us for a while, and she was really good, and then she left the year after my class graduated. And I don't know. I mean, looking back at it, I guess the school is okay, but it was just extremely, extremely odd because I don't know. I guess it's just because I'm not Catholic anymore. It just seems weird to me. But looking back at it, we had this one teacher in middle school. She was a religion teacher. She pretty much told the class full of seventh graders, so we were all like 12, 13 at the time, you know. She told all of us, all these kids, dogs don't go to heaven because they don't have souls, because they can't worship God. They don't have that ability, so they just die and then they don't exist anymore. She literally told a group of 12 and 13-year-olds that, hey, if your dog dies, I'm sorry, but you're fucked. It's not coming back. That's what literally she told all of us. And then she told us like, but when we die, won't God give us our dog back? And they're like, oh, it's okay. God's love will fill that void of your dog, and you will love God instead of your dog. I'm not even kidding you. That's what she said. And then in 8th grade, we went to school one day, and it was the weirdest thing. They took us out of class, all the 8th graders out of class. We went to the religion teacher's room, and they had this guest speaker who was really pro-life, and she was telling us pretty much using scare tactics to be like, hey kids, don't have sex, otherwise this will happen. Showed us like really, really graphic fucking videos of aborted fetuses that were still alive and everything, and just telling us about like all these diseases and everything, pretty much just using like all these fucking scare tactics. And then I remember after this whole thing was over, we all had to go into church with the one pro-life lady, and I remember we had to actually pray that we wouldn't have to God that we wouldn't have sex before marriage, and we also had to pray for all of the souls of the aborted babies. And looking back at it, like back then, I'm just like, this is normal because that's how I was raised. And now looking back at it, I'm just like, excuse me, what the fuck did I actually just fucking watch? And what did I actually just fucking do? And then at the end, like, you know, like those sex talks, like they give you condoms and everything. No, this teacher gave this lady, she gave us a fucking piece of candy, just like a little bite-sized, fun-size, like Snickers or something, a fucking plastic diamond saying, if anybody gives you this, they aren't worth it. Get somebody who will give you a real diamond, because that will show that they love you. And I'm just like, well then why the fuck are you giving us a plastic diamond? But we also had this, and then she gave us a prayer card, and she said, kids, this prayer card, keep this prayer card in your wallet instead of a condom, and it will remind you not to have sex before marriage, and it will remind you that God loves you. And with that, guys, I'm out of here. And then she gives everybody their prayer cards and just walks out, and we've never seen her again. But it was just the weirdest day, like, ever. And this was all in 8th grade. 5th grade, people don't think like, oh, people are like, oh, you won't get bullied at a Catholic school. Everybody there is really nice. They love Jesus. There's no bullying at Catholic schools. But no, for whatever fucking reason, I don't know why, I got bullied like my 5th grade year of school. And like all these, like this is small group of kids, they were like, yeah, you're fucking, like they didn't say fucking, but they're like, yeah, you're gay, and it's contagious, and if you touch us, we'll get you're gay or something. And like back then, I was like 5th grade, I was 11 years old, I'd say. I really didn't understand what gay was or what gay meant, and so I just kind of went along with it. I'm just like, hey, yeah, I'm gay. And then I'm just like, once I actually found out what gay meant, I'm just like, oh, fuck no. And then we got the principal involved, and principal settled it. But I don't know, for people, for like all the parents out there, they're like, hey, bullying, there's no bullying at private schools. It happens a lot more than at public schools. It happens way more than you think. It actually affected me for a little while after that, like later on in life, and I don't know. It just was not a fun time. And in 8th grade, back to 8th grade here, I know I'm just doing jump cuts like from year to year, but in 8th grade, we had to do this thing to get ready for confirmation, so we had to go like on a little mini retreat at the school, and we couldn't go home or anything, and it was just a weekend retreat at the school to bring us like closer to Jesus and everything, and get us ready for our confirmation. And that was the weirdest thing, honestly. That thing was like more fucked up than I actually remembered, because they had us sleep at strangers' houses that were in the parish that we had no idea who the fuck they were. They had us stay at their house, and they had us like use their showers, and their like shampoos and everything. And back then I'm like, this is fine, because I'm like, oh, this is normal, they're trusted people. But looking back at it, it was the most sketchiest thing I've ever done. And then they had us write down all of our sins one night and toss them into a barbecue pit, like into a little barbecue pit of fire. Well, they had sad music playing and everyone was crying, and we had to toss the paper with our sins like into the fire because God loves us or something. I don't know. It was the weirdest experience. And because of that thing, I like The Lion King a lot less than I used to. And like every time I hear like a song from The Lion King, except Scar's, because I fucking love Scar. He's like one of my favorite Disney villains. But when I hear just a regular song from The Lion King, like I Just Can't Wait to Be King, I cringe a little inside, because the whole thing was fucking Lion King themed. Like, I shit you not. Like, when you first go there, you go through the cafeteria and they're like, oh yeah, go to the gym, everybody's in there, everybody in there is like playing basketball, they have fucking Lion King music playing. And I kid you not, this thing was called, like, the Luke 18 retreat was called The Circle of Christ, and it was all Lion King themed. And because of that, I don't like Lion King as much as I used to. It's a great movie and everything, but I just, like, every time I watch it, that just comes into my head, and I'm just like, oh god, get it out. And they literally gave us, like, at the end of it, like, a little mixtape with all these songs that they played. I still have that thing, but it has, like, Lion King songs on it, weird-ass country songs about Jesus loving you, I think some Nickelback on it for whatever reason, I don't know. But they did have good talks there, I'll admit, but but looking back, it was probably like one of the most unsafe, sketchiest things I've ever done in my life, and I would not do it again. But I do admit we did have a better theme than the year before us. Their theme was Church Bell, and it was literally just the fucking Taco Bell. It was a Taco Bell themed retreat. I don't know where they get these ideas from, but it was the stupidest thing that I've ever fucking done in my life. I felt, looking back at it, I'm just like, why did I do that? I literally I felt like, looking back, I'm just like, that is so unsafe and sketchy. Why did I do that? Why did my parents let me do that? Why did this have to happen? Like, why? Why would they let me sleep at a stranger's house that we have no idea who the fuck they are? Why would they? I don't know. In my little group met in the first graders room, so, and like, you know me, I'm like really tall. I'm like 6 foot, but back then I was probably like about like 5'8" or something. And we had to sit like in the little my class met in the first graders room, so we had to just sit in the little first grade chairs, and I'm just like, let me see, I'm just like, my knees, I'm just like pretty much the whole time in my chair, because it was so like tiny and cramped, and it wasn't good, and wouldn't let us bring our cell phones, MP3 players, or electronic devices with us at all, because it would take away from the experience of bonding with Jesus. And the only really good thing about that, like I said, I did enjoy the talks, like people, like I guess you could call them camp counselors or whatever the fuck you want to call them. They gave really good talks about like some things that happened in their personal life, and I thought that was really cool, actually. But I also really, really liked the food. The chefs who were in charge of it were really good cooks. But it just felt, looking back at it, was so unsafe, so stupid, and like, why did I even do this? It was like so culty, so brainwashy. I didn't like it. It wasn't good. It was not good at all, guys. So, that's pretty much all I can think of from that. And I did go to high school at a Catholic school just for 1 year, and I do have a little time left. I do want to try to keep this short, but I'll talk about that. This high school, it's closed now. Thank fucking God it's closed now. They just couldn't get the fundings up, and it was just really expensive, and I hated it. But looking back at it, this school, it was an old school. It was around since like the 60s, so fairly old school. No fucking windows in any of the classrooms. Literally a bomb shelter. The school was like literally a fucking bomb shelter. No rooms, no windows in the classrooms. All the walls were painted this ugly fucking like mustard yellow color, which honestly really strained my eyes a lot. It wasn't good. They had 2 gyms, which I thought was actually okay. The kids there, they were nice, but it was pretty much just like a bunch of spoiled, fucking rich kids. And apparently the year after I left, I had some friends that went there still, and they were like, yeah, pretty much everybody here, except for me, everybody here, fucking smokes weed now. They've all had sex, and, I was like, oh, okay. It was, like, all this shit went down, and all the cool shit happens when I leave, guys. I'm serious. And, like, the year after I left, like, these 2 kids, like, drunk, climbed up on the roof. One of them fell through the skylight into the gym. The other guy had, like, put his shirt around his hand, punched through the door, setting off the alarms, busting into the school to see if his friend was okay. Somebody took somebody's car in the parking lot for a joyride and fucking totaled it. Like, this school was nuts. And, the teachers were okay. The English teacher, I loved the English teacher. She was extremely nice to me, but she scared me at times. This kid fell asleep while we were taking notes, and she's like, "What are you doing falling asleep while we're taking notes? Bring those up here. Let me look at them." The kid goes up, looks at them, and the teacher looks at the notes, and she writes lazy on the board. She's like, Lazy, what does that spell? The kid's half asleep in his desk, and he's just like, oh, lazy. And then the teacher's like, that's what you are. And then she starts lecturing about how he shouldn't be in high school yet. So it was really an odd experience for me. Then I went to public school the year after because 1, I complained so fucking much about it. I hated it. And 2, it just cost too much. I couldn't keep up the payments. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to public school. Bye, guys. And I love public school so much better. And we also had the math teacher. He hated everybody. Like, if you told, like, it was his last year there, so I mean, it's understandable. But if your parents called him and said, hey, why is my child doing bad in your class? You automatically got on his bad side. And my mom messaged him about that, so I got on his bad side. This one girl was sick for a day, and she asked for the homework and the notes that she missed, and the teacher's like, yeah, here you go. She looks at it, she doesn't know how to do it. She goes up and asks the teacher, hey, I was sick yesterday, I have no idea how to do this, can you help me? And the teacher's just like, listen, you have a 95 in my class, you'll figure it out, you'll do fine. And she's like, but I don't understand. And the teacher's just like, nope, go sit down, you'll do fine. Like a complete fucking asshole. So, I don't know. It wasn't a good school, guys. And so, with that being said, though, that's pretty much my experiences at Catholic school. If I can think of anything else that happened... Oh, wait, one more thing. I just remembered. There was this one kid who, like, he wasn't Catholic. He was like Lutheran or Baptist or something like that, but he wasn't Catholic. And one of the fucking people in charge there literally just tried everything in their power to get this kid kicked out of school because he wasn't Catholic. Just literally, like, everything he could do. He was just like, he tried everything to get this poor kid kicked out of school because he wasn't Catholic. I mean, his parents are paying the tuition. The school's getting money. Why do you want to kick this kid out just because he's not Catholic? It's just the stupidest thing. And then my one friend's pulled pranks on that guy, like saying, "Oh yeah, I don't think God is real." And the guy came out of his office, he's like, "What? what do you mean God's not real? And they're like, oh yeah, you know, like the gods, like the Greek gods, like Zeus and Hades and Poseidon. He's just like, oh, and just like sulks back into his office. It was just it was a bad school. I hated it. So with that being said, that's pretty much all the experiences I remember from my Catholic school. So with that being said, guys, be sure to hit that like button. Check out my social media link in the description below. Be sure to follow my other channel, CryptoCast. Excuse me. If you guys like cryptid, paranormal related stuff, I do live streams every Friday, so be sure to check that out. And with that being said, guys, I'll try to upload more frequently. I was going to try to upload some more this week. It's just been a pretty hectic week. My mom broke her arm, so I've been trying to help her out with that. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next time on Parker's Plights. Thank you, guys.